What's up everybody, my name is Triage and today I have a video for you about profit farming. Now before we get too far, I'd like to show you my farming bank preset. So if we go inside, here's what I have. I have my super compost, I have fellstock seeds, which give me some really good experience, Marcello spores, noted herbs. I also have my attuned crystal teleport seed, a giant ent pouch, bloodweed seed, my initial teleports to Trollheim, my Ectophial. I also have my wilderness sword for one of my teleports, my explorer's ring for yet another teleport, and last but not least, my legendary Green Fingers aura. Now what this aura does is increase my chance for a yield on most produce, especially herbs. That's what we're going to be doing in this run, is an herb rush. And this also stacks with a farming juju, which is not part of my preset due to the various dose changes, I guess. The bank preset doesn't pick up on that, so I'll show you guys that in just a moment. Okay, so from here we're going to go ahead and load out, and I want to show you guys my skilling action bar. It's universal, however it's geared towards my farm run. Outside of the revolution yellow rectangle that you see there, there's a bunch of teleports and my surge ability that I use quite a bit. So whenever I'm not in combat, usually my action bar is set to this. And it's really convenient because I set up my action bar to match the order of my farm run. Alright, first up I got my Trollheim teleport, I have my Green Fingers aura, and my juju, which I'll go ahead and grab from my bank here. And then following all of that are all of the teleports that go in the order of my farm run. Alright, so without further ado, let's go ahead and start off by teleporting to Trollheim. Alright, so from here we're going to go ahead and make our way up to the Trollheim herb patch, and from here on out all the travel time is going to be nice and speedy for you guys' convenience. Now that we're finally up here, let's go ahead and buff up with our aura and juju. We'll go ahead and pick these herbs here. After the herbs are picked, go ahead and fertilize the soil either with super compost or lunar magic, and then go ahead and drop a seed in there. Now that you have your herbs, don't clean them, just go ahead and use one grimy herb on the tool leprechaun and he'll note them for you, and this will clear up your inventory space. Go ahead and grab a super compost from him, and then we'll teleport to the Ardy herb patch. Okay, same routine here. We're just going to go ahead and pick our herbs, compost, plant a seed, and then move on to the next patch, which happens to be in Catherby. From here on out, it's going to be really routine at each plot as we're picking herbs, so I want to go ahead and take a little bit of time and talk about the farming skill in general, especially for those that don't know much about farming. Now obviously it is a gathering skill for herb lore, but a lot of people use it to make money, like myself. So in order to make money from it, you'll want to harvest some of the high dollar items such as herbs, coconuts, cactus spines, morchella mushrooms. If you can't access those other things, stick with just herbs for now. And there's other herbs out there that you can make GP from. It's not just toadflax. I will put a link down in the description to an RS Wiki calculator that'll show you profit that you can make per herb at different levels, so that you don't have to farm lower level herbs while you're higher level farming. So right now I'm at the Draynor patch, and I use my explorer's ring to teleport there for those that don't know how I got there, and I'm about to use my Ectophial to move on to the Mauritania patch. And this brings me to my next point. When you're herb farming, you'll want to choose a path that works best for you and stick with it so that you don't forget spots and so that you can move quickly and it becomes a routine for you. For me personally, I always start off in the Trollheim patch because that takes the longest to get to. Because your juju will only last 6 minutes. So by starting off in Trollheim, I minimize my travel time. And then after Trollheim, it becomes alphabetical for me just to keep things simple. I always start off in Ardy, then Catherby, then Draynor, then I use my Ectophial for the Mauritania patch, I use my Teleport Seed for the Elf City, and then last but not least, I use my Wilderness Sword for the Wilderness patch. Now, while moving along the farm path, I try to avoid using home teleports because they increase your travel time, which cut into your Juju time. For right now, the only teleport that I have that uses a home tele is Catherby. And for those with lower farming levels and not as many herb patches unlocked, you won't have to really worry about this, because 6 minutes should be enough for you to get to 4 or 5 patches, no problem. Alright, so we're almost done with the herb part of our farm run. Right now we're about to head to the wilderness, which is hands down the highest profiting portion of this entire run. Now I recommend that you guys have the Wilderness Sword level 3, because that will ensure that that patch never dies, and the Bloodweed is extremely profitable. So if you don't have that unlocked, go do that. Alright, so we got all of our herbs, and we can actually let our farming Juju run out. The buff won't affect the rest of the run. The next portion in profit farming are Marcello mushrooms. Now these are pretty profitable as well, and there's 2 patches of them. There's one in the Coniferous area that I reach through the fairy rings, and then there's another patch over in the Tirnwin Elven area. And earlier we let our Juju run out, but we're gonna let our Greenfinger's aura run just a little longer. For both of these patches, I recommend that you get done your Mauritania and your Elven task set. If you get the level 2 Mauritania tasks, that'll make sure that your Coniferous mushrooms will become disease-free. And if you have the opportunity to do the level 4 tasks, you'll get double yield 100% of the time at that patch. And it's really similar with the Elven tasks, except all you'll need is level 2, as this will unlock the patch for you. Now if you have the level 4 Mauritania tasks unlocked, you'll receive the double yield benefit at the Elven patch. It gets a little tricky at the Elven patch because they can die from disease, so this is why I leave my aura on, and I also use Super Compost to try to keep those shrooms alive and maximize my profit. Our next little stop in profit farming are cactus spines. Now these are especially nice if you benefit from the double yield perk that you get from your Desert 3 tasks. But another way to increase your yield on these is by summoning a giant ent. From here on out, we're going to use our giant ent on cactuses and other fruit, as they give you a chance for a second pick. And this perk stacks with the double yield from the Desert 3 tasks. So if you have both of these running at the same time, you can get a maximum of up to 9 spines. Now at the time of recording, spines average about 6.5k. So if you pick anywhere from 3 to 9 spines, you'll net about 20k to 60k per run. It might seem small just for spines, but if you continue to pick those with each of your farm runs, that'll add up very nicely when you go to sell everything. We are finally at the tail end of our profit farm run, and we're going to be picking fruit. In this video I'll be picking coconuts, but a really good alternative would be papayas. Coconuts are level 68 farming, however papayas are level 57. Similar to herbs, I have a path for fruit trees. To start off, I use the Wildy sword to teleport to Edgeville, which will take me pretty close to a spirit tree, which will teleport me to the Gnome Stronghold. I use keybind number 2. And when I'm done there, I use the tree again to teleport to the Gnome Village. Once I'm done with the gnomes, I go on home tele to Catherby and harvest from the tree there. After Catherby, I go ahead and home tele to Karamja. And if the daily reset has happened, I'll go ahead and talk to Del Monte and collect my free pineapples and green cooking apples, as these add up quite nicely, or I can use the pineapples for making my own super compost. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead and move on north to the tree and harvest from there. After Karamja, I'll go on home teleport to Elf City, move north again, and harvest from that tree. We have one final stop left in our profit farm run. You can either use a crystal teleport seed or your elven quiver to teleport to Lletya. Alright people, so here we are. This is the whole reason we have done this farm run. This is for pure profit. Now, some of the time has been sped up, but it takes anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes per run if you want to include your fruit and everything. But this 1 million is about what I average. So I've seen it up to 1.3 million. I've seen it down as low as about 950k. Now the cool thing about farming is that once you harvest everything and everything's replanted, you gotta wait a little bit. So you can go and take this opportunity to go make some gold elsewhere. You can go focus on skilling and get those levels up. You can go do your task sets if you haven't done those yet. You can do quests, or you can just log off and go take a break and do real life stuff. Well guys, this about wraps up this video. I hope it's been helpful. If it has, please give it a like. If you loved it, give it a subscribe, and I will see you guys in some other videos.